Media for the 21st century. Hamzambo family here. Welcome to the Black Fire Network 54 Correspondence Show. Today being on the 30th of March, year 2021. How are you doing? How is your day? How is your morning coming up? Right now, it's actually 3 minutes past 1 p.m. in Nairobi. And we are coming live to you from our African Kenya studios. We hope that you are doing well. And we are delighted that you have tuned in. In case you're joining us for the very first time, the 54 Correspondence Show is a show we get to discuss about African news, trending on topical matters, and we get to update us on what is happening across the beautiful continent of Africa. The main goal of this particular show is really to paint the image of Africa as it is. In some of the different cases, you have seen different media tainting the image of the African continent and also, putting out information that is not really factual. We hope to be objective and factual as possible and become a reliable source of information for the Africans on the African continent and also the Africans in the diaspora. My name is Spikes, and I hope that you are doing well. In Swahili, we normally do say karibu sana, and I want to welcome each and every one of us tuning in. We do have a wonderful website. You can check out www.black.firenetwork.com, and once you are on the website, you can be able to create your own small personal profile. And once you do, you will be able to interact with the rest of the family. It's easy. It doesn't take a lot of time, and you can also download our network app on the Black Hotfire Network website. You can also find it on Google Play Store. That is why it is. You can also find it, on Play Store. That is why you'll find it. But you can also get the link on the network website. How is your week coming along so far? Being on a Tuesday, we are going back and reflecting on what has been happening globally, even before we touch on what is happening in Africa. Of course, there has been the starting or the commencing of the hearing of the case with George Floyd, and I have seen that particular case become a very, very much big. It has a lot of attention globally. Recently, I realized that this particular case, has people talking even in Africa. Anywhere else you will go, you will find people just conversing and are talking about what is happening. For example, I was moving around Nairobi and I found a shop. I found a shop that has been written Black Lives Matter. People do not know on the African continent that really the Black Lives Matter movement does not really represent the interests of the people. It's just another movement which is really hyped. But people on the African continent have been catching up with that. I walked around. I wish I could take a photo of that particular shop. There was a shop written Black Lives Matter. That was the name of the shop. I think they were selling a stationery or something like that. I didn't look into this shop to see what was going on with that. But of course, there has been the commencing of that particular case, and it has also attracted global attention. And therefore, we shall also be focusing and following closely with that particular one right here on the Blackwood Fan Network. I can almost speculate regarding the outcome of that particular one, but I will not go into the speculation of the case with Derek Chauvin in the murder or in the killing of George Floyd. Nonetheless, I want to start off the show with sharing with us some words of wisdom. The African really is known to be, the particular person who has a lot of proverbs and a lot of wise sayings. We do call them proverbs. And I will share with us some Senegalese proverbs. And one of the most popular Senegalese proverb, it says, nobody tells all he knows. Nobody tells all he knows. And in case, even if you find yourself to have some information which is very, very important, or you think to yourself that you have gotten this information, perhaps it's instrumental or it's nice, it's not really important, it's not really wise for anyone to go out there telling all he knows. Sometimes you just have to keep your business private, and sometimes you just have to be an observer. Sometimes you go around minding your own business. I think that is one of the wisest thing to do, even as you go out about your day. Sometimes you just see things and you notice things, and you keep your mouth shut about what is happening. And that is one of the wise Senegalese proverbs. It says, nobody tells all he knows. Nobody tells all he knows, or nobody tells all she knows. It can be either he or she. And it's very, very important to realize sometimes you just have to keep your mouth shut and keep it pushing. I think that is what perhaps might be important to do. And the other second famous Senegalese proverb, it actually reads, there cannot be peace without understanding. There cannot be peace without understanding. And we are seeing many, especially West African countries, trying to strive for peace. If you look at the nation of Mali, you will find that people are trying to strive for peace. But I think there is a lack of understanding of what is happening. And people do not even know on the ground who is the real enemy, what is happening, There can never be any peace without understanding. That is also another wise Senegalese proverb. And Senegal is considered to be a place which is relatively safe and stable in comparison to the counterparts in the West African region. If you go to Burkina Faso, go to Mali, go to maybe perhaps Togo, you will find that Senegal and Ghana, these are two West African countries that I really consider to be stable compared to the rest of their West African counterparts. And you will happen also to realize that most of these African countries in West Africa, they were colonies, former French colonies, and we know that the French colonies, they do suffer a lot. There was a document signed which is known as the Continuation of Colonization. And this particular document really shows that there will be, looting continuing, even if it's really sort of legalized. In a way, it's structured, and therefore it's sort of legitimized, which is crazy that you see that most of these West African countries did sign some documents. And West African countries, former West African colonies on the continent of Africa, really, they tend to be almost the most messed up. Ricardo Bradford, you are all visit us on our Facebook, and I appreciate you joining us on the show. Sometimes I'm not able to read everything, but I appreciate your comments and also checking in on us. And you're saying welcome back, a person of substance for which Christ, cause the diaspora listeners can be saluted and respect. Dr. Cloud, I know Dr. Cloud, and he has actually been instrumental with his book Powernomics, and people need to wake up and realize that you cannot even have freedom or become emancipated or liberated without having a strong economic base. I agree to the extent that he talks about Powernomics and also getting to understand that we need to get our economics right. To that extent, I do agree with Dr. Cloud Anderson, and also the matter of stopping to act inappropriately, because he has talked about how Black people have acted inappropriately for all these years. Yes, I do second with the views of Mr. Dr. Cloud Addison, and I agree with you, Ricardo Bradford, for just checking in on us and seeing how we are faring on right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. Like I said, we do have an interesting website. Simply make sure you head over to the website. It's www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And once you are on the website, you can be able to really interact with the rest of the family, and you can also be able to build with us, because the real goal of the Black Hot Fire Network is to unify our people globally. And as a black people, we have actually been at the bottom for minutes, but we do hope that if people are awakened, they would see, their potential. We would see that coming together in unity, we will be able to achieve a much more. There is one more Senegalese proverb I want to share with us, and then I shall talk briefly about Senegal, and then we shall of course continue with the matter of the day, which is in Egypt. We shall be talking about the Suez Canal today, a little bit of the history of Suez Canal, and we shall be getting to understand how did it come about, who did construct the Suez Canal, and what has been the latest news to the Suez Canal. If you have been following our global matters, you will realize that there was a blockade on the Suez Canal, because one of the biggest ships actually moving across the canal did sink. We shall be telling us a little bit much about that. But when we get back, I shall be sharing with you one of the most popular Senegalese proverb, and also telling us a little bit about the cities of Senegal, because it's important that we get to understand Africa in its totality. And Senegal is also one of the icons in Africa, representing for West Africa, and also for the countries that are, of course, are really relatively stable. Let me just say relatively stable. We shall be talking about them when we get back after this short music break. And welcome back to the 54 Correspondence Show on the Black Hot Fire Network. Like I said earlier, this is a media for the 21st century, and we are Black Hot Fire Network. My name is Spikes, and like I said earlier, the 54 Correspondence Show is all about showing you what's good with Africa, and also getting to report objectively and factually about the content of Africa, and really getting to enlighten us on what's really happening right now. We are just sharing us a little bit about Senegal, and I was saying that they do have some popular Senegalese proverbs. I have already shared that too with us. One did actually say that a wise man, no one tells all they know. No one tells all he knows. No one tells all he knows. Sometimes you just have to keep your business private and keep it pushing. Even if you do make an observation and I see things are working and going like this, you just leave it alone, and you just have to keep it moving. And we also did tell us of another different proverb, which is An empty belly has no ears. An empty belly really has no ears. There is also one which says there cannot be peace without understanding. There cannot be peace without understanding. But nonetheless, I wanted to touch briefly on Senegal. Like I did say, Senegal is a beautiful nation, and it actually borders Gambia. Gambia was once part of Senegal, and they are different cities in Senegal, and they are organized by population. The capital city is really known as Dakar, but the nation is also building building up another city to make it the capital. We also do have Saint Louis. We also do have Kaolack, which is also another city in Senegal. We also do have Touba. We also do have Luga, and we also do have Ziguinco. I wish I would be able to pronounce it much better, but we also do have Rufisque, which has a population of about 500,000 people. And all these cities, I believe, you will find relative peace and calm, compared to the counterparts in other different parts of West Africa, like you said earlier. There is also one known as a Kolda and one known as a Joal Fadiouit. And like you said, the people of Senegal have seen there is a big congestion, and therefore, in the next few years, we might be seeing the city being moved. But let me share this video so that you can get to see why perhaps you might see the importance of moving the city from Dakar. There have been so many other countries that have moved their capital cities, and it's difficult. It's really not easy, but this is what is happening.
A city is emerging in Senegal's countryside with brand new buildings and others still under construction. The city of Diamniadio has an estimated cost of $2 billion, and it aims to be a smart city and an economic hub in Senegal. The new city is being built in a bid to ease the mounting overcrowding and traffic congestion in Dakar, where it is estimated that over 3 million people live. New Diamniadio is expected to address the poor state of living and real estate in Dakar. Real estate prices are soaring with no end in sight, making housing unattainable even for middle-class Senegalese citizens. The government of Senegal also has plans to establish an express train station linking Dakar to the airport under construction in the existing city of Diamniadio. As Dakar is surrounded on three sides by the Atlantic Ocean, congestion on its roads are particularly bad. The project was first approved in 2013 and later launched in 2014. The new city will have affordable housing, an industrial park, a university, and entertainment facilities. There have been concerns about the cost of the project. Although Senegal's economy is growing at around 6% a year, its public debt stands at around 61% of its gross domestic product.
You realize that Senegal has also not, it's also facing the same challenges, a lot of debt, and but the city is, I think, it's a good move building
from
this particular
Senegal's countryside with brand new buildings and others still under construction. Welcome to Diamniadio. The massive project in one of the poorest countries on the planet has an estimated cost of more than $2 billion. The goal is to relieve congestion in Dakar, the capital home to 3 million of the country's 15 million inhabitants. Seydou Sissal is in charge of promoting Diamniadio.
The project is part of the Emerging Senegal Plan, aimed at creating more wealth and jobs in Greater Dakar, but its effect will be felt throughout the country. The project is based on economic features and events. Because we have noticed for some time now that business tourism is growing, the President of the Republic plans to make Dakar a sub-regional and even international hub.
Government officers have already started relocating to Diamniadio. In July, the ministerial city welcomed its first tenant, the Ministry of Agriculture.
We used to drive 40-50 minutes, even an hour, to get to the office because of traffic jams. Today, from my home to Diamniadio, it takes about 20 minutes. This is a really huge time savings. And also, we found here an ideal setting for work. It is calm, it is clean. We do not envy developed countries in terms of workplace environment.
The mega project is not without criticism. For experts, the social housing it includes will not be within the reach of people on the minimum wage. Housing experts say homes here would cost between $20,000 to $40,000, far out of reach for people earning the average wage of around $200 a month. And as is the case in many developing countries, this kind of mega project displaces people, creating tensions in local communities. Not far from Dayamnyadio, the village of Telimaligay lacks basic infrastructure. Its inhabitants say they are affected by the new city.
We're not against the emerging Senegal initiative, but they should at least respect us. What does it mean? It means communicating with us, informing us. You come grab our lands without compensation. They just compensate farm losses, but not the land. And when we speak up, we're told the land is part of national domain.
Despite the criticism, Dayamnyadio continues to take shape.
Like you heard, this is another
You're
speaker.
told to shut up. When you speak up, you're told to shut your damn mouth. You're in Africa, and we don't give a shit because it's a recent French colony. Can you tell me what French colony has actually made any money? African country, all of them are deeply impoverished. What African country is at least halfway decent? I can't name one. Can you name one?
None of them. They're
I
saying
can't name
Senegal.
one.
Yeah, they're saying the Senegal, the national debt is also very, very high, and therefore, even if you do have these particular projects, it will be very, very difficult for the benefits of these big projects to be realized by the local man who is making about $200.
They can't live in it. I think they just said that their national debt is like 61% of the damn economy.
GDP. Yeah.
And the country's upside down. It's already destroyed. How you gonna have your GDP is 61%? You can't even survive. I think the average salary in damn Senegal is maybe what, $200 a year?
No, they're saying 200 a month.
I don't know what.
It's 200 a month. The average is 200 a month, but the people
I don't believe that shit.
That is what the VOA did say right here on that particular on that documentary.
Yeah,
that is what the
because they say it don't make it true, Spike. Good God. Because they say the shit don't make it true. I don't believe what the hell he just said. That ain't the average salary in no damn Senegal.
But the property is very expensive. The property is very expensive.
What's the GDP, Spike?
Sorry?
Yeah, of course, they're not gonna be afforded. What's Senegal's GDP, Spike?
The GDP in Senegal actually happens to be 24 billion US dollars.
Oh, 24 or 34 billion, Spike.
24.
24. That ain't no damn $200. Then their average salary is not no $200 a month. Their GDP is they number 24 billion, Spike. I think Kenyans at least 100 billion. There's a 24 billion. Ain't nobody making no $200 no damn month in no fucking Senegal. That ain't the norm. That's a lie. GDP is 24 billion. Go ahead, Spike.
They're saying the average salary. I don't know if this is the government employees or these are non-government employees, but really on this particular table,
Spike, you know it's a lie because the GDP is nothing but 24 billion a year. That's a lie. I know the average wage is not $200 a month. I know that. They don't make it. They don't got any money. The GDP is only 24 billion a year. They're impoverished.
And they're saying these are the project to construct these other to expand these other cities about did they say it's 20? Did they say $20 billion? Let me. Yeah, $2 billion. $2 billion. $2 billion.
I think they're two. They don't got no $20 billion. They're $2 billion. So, right, who's gonna live in this shit? Foreigners.
The foreigners will be living in it.
Who's gonna live in it?
The foreigners.
Yeah. They're making it for the French masters.
But they also say they're also saying the traffic situation is crazy because the city has over 3 million people and the whole population in Senegal is about 15 million. So if you have 3 million people, more than 3 million people living in the city, that means that the houses will go up.
Because,
the price of houses.
You know why? Because the rest of the country is not developed. That's why. That's why that many people live in the city. because that's the most developed part of Senegal. The rest of the country's all fucked up. That's why. That's why. The rest of the country's underdeveloped. So people are going to move where they think is development and they have opportunity. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why it's in that one city.
Because the minister there for agriculture.
I don't care what no goofy ass Akon said. You couldn't pay me to live in no fucked up ass center. You couldn't pay me to live in no African French colony. None of them. All poor as fuck. Every last one of them. The weak, the sorry, they don't fight the French. The French takes all the money, and they all fucked up, man. I wouldn't advise nobody live in no former French African colony. They are the most backward. They are the worst. Infrastructural, they are the worst. And these Negroes are the worst that don't fight for shit. They're fucked up in the head. Mali's poor. Cote d'Ivoire is impoverished. Cameroon is impoverished. Oh, you name every French colony. The Central African Republic, French colony, impoverished.
And something
impoverished. Gabon, impoverished. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just saying that if you were to pick between Senegal and if you're to pick between Dakar and Luanda in Angola, and you have to pick one, where are you going? If you had to pick between the most expensive, which is Luanda and Senegal, where would you be going? Because I want to share this video. I want to share this video. Yeah.
Man, I go to Angola, even though Angola's Portuguese, it wasn't the British. Angola has a Mike can turn itself around with a coup, overthrow these damn corrupt bastards. I would go to Angola before I went to fucking Senegal and live. I would go to Angola. Because Angola
this is what they are doing
can be overthrown.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
This was way back. This was way back in Angola. This was way back in Angola, but the cost of living is crazy.
The Kwanza has lost more than 50% of its value over the last 2 years, sending the cost of imports through the roof. The situation is causing concern about the future of a country that was recently among the continent's fastest growing economies. Here's CCTV's Mireille Galan with that report.
Luanda, ranked as one of the most expensive cities in the world. According to Mercer's annual cost of living survey, year after year, cities like Hong Kong, London, and New York are topped by Luanda as the priciest city for expats. Apartment rentals can cost one over $5,000 a month. A one-way ticket on local transport can set you back $2.50. And renting a car is well over $200 a day. I'm at Django Valera. It's a popular hotspot for tourists by the beach here in Luanda. But it's becoming increasingly more and more expensive for people to go on weekend outings.
Coming back. We can't afford that shit in America.
They say the Coke costs are $5. Let me see. Did you see the Coke bottle costs are $5? That is super expensive still.
$8. Earlier, I went to the supermarket.
I hope she's not exaggerating.
I couldn't afford to live there. I couldn't afford. The country's so corrupt. That's why the country, the government is so corrupt, so fucked up. After they won that war, the Europeans went in and put these puppets up in there. The country is fucked up. Africans got to realize that these countries are basket cases. They're not even countries. They're thiefdom. I got to get with Lex I said years ago. They're thiefdom. They're not countries. They're not even countries. You can't really call them countries. Countries work on the benefit of people. They don't work on the benefit of people. Go ahead, Spike.
No, I'm just saying, I think you would assume that now that they do have oil in the area known as Akabinda, where they do have the oil, and this particular oil doesn't benefit anyone. It's just they did not have any of this oil in
it. Right. It don't benefit anybody. Every time you got oil in Arabic countries benefit the people. Any oil found in Africa, it don't benefit the people. Ain't that funny? Completely backwards.
Right now there's fighting. Yeah, go on.
Fight what now? You know what?
Now, since there's a fighting in Mozambique. Yeah.
What about Mozambique? Yeah, Mozambique.
I'm saying there's fighting in Mozambique. I will be talking about Mozambique in a short while, but let me share this video. I'll be telling us what is up in Mozambique.
Look, hold on. Mozambique is corrupt and fucked up as well. These dummies have hired South African militia. You should know this as you cover. They've hired South African mercenaries to fight their wars, and they're killing innocent Mozambicans. They're not fighting no damn terrorists. They're killing innocent civilians because of this dumbass. It's not that these African countries that these leaders who are puppets are fucking stupid. It's over and over again. Place one dumbass leader with another dumbass leader. That you go hire white, not even black, white South African mercenaries to fight your fucking wars. They killing your own people. Yeah, mercenaries, and they killing your own damn people. You're supposed to be overthrown. Take out in the street and hung.
I think I heard also Cameroon was hiring some. Yeah, I think Cameroon was also the president of Cameroon was hiring some Israeli mercenaries to come and terrorize the people. That was what was happening. The president was hiring some mercenaries.
Because they're crooks, and that's who runs the planet. That's who runs the planet. Ashkenazim, like the fake Jew. So you got the fake Jew with these puppets that they installed. Got this 88-year-old man. This damn motherfucker's 88 years old. Talking about he's the president. This motherfucker don't even know what's going on. 88 years old.
Yeah.
They didn't gave up trying to overthrow his corrupt ass, and the whole family after he died got to be taken out and got rid of. And I mean, you know exactly what the fuck I mean. Whole family.
That is exactly what should be happening. Let me play a little bit over these, and we shall go to Mozambique for a minute, then I see what is also happening with that. Let me do these other one real quick.
So today's video is going to be about the cost of living between Angola and Ghana, my two favorite countries in Africa. Don't be jealous. Okay. And we know also the cost of living is often used to compare how expensive is one city and another city. In this case, it's going to be Angola and Ghana. So keep watching. You know, but you don't have idea how expensive it is.
The reason I love using StreamYard, well, that's easy. I can make Chris Brogan. I can make a show like The Backpack.
That's a real caveman there, boy.
The cost of living in Ghana is 46.45 lower than Angola, and in the terms of rent in Ghana is it is. So the cost of living in Ghana is 46.45 lower.
That's really high. They're saying that living in Angola is 46.45 times higher. The cost is 46.45 times higher than Ghana.
Staying in Rwanda. In Ghana, in Angola, most people are impoverished. I can afford to live in Angola. It's impoverished. They've only let the white people come back in. white Portuguese are there again. They never wanted to leave Africa to begin with. The country is so fucking corrupt and backwards and fucked up. Got to be completely help overthrow Southern Africa and get it free. And now it needs to be overthrown because black people don't never do right. Never.
Yep.
Same old shit with these corrupt ass bastards over and over again.
That's a problem. I think we
needs to be completely destroyed. So that's why I say, are African people stupid? Are they IQ? Are they African people functionally retarded? That's what white people say. Are black people functionally retarded?
I think our people forget way too fast. I think that's a problem, and we're also learning slow. We forget too quick what did happen in the recent years, and then we are also learning very, very slow. Let me play a little bit more of these.
Angola, and in the terms of rent in Ghana is on average of 86.64% lower than in Angola. I'm going to start with renting. Why I'm starting with renting? When you want to move to a country, of course, you need to know and you need to have an idea how much costs to rent an apartment.
And then, even with all the money, Angola is in debt to the Chinese. It's not even a benefit for the Angolan country. The country's in shambles.
It's the highest. It's the highest in terms of Chinese.
It's the highest. You can't imagine how mismanaged. Oh my God!
I think what did happen. I think what did happen is there was the daughter of the president, and she was given, her name is Isabella Santos. She actually took the money. I think she put the money in a Portuguese account and other European countries, and then the country did not have any money on it. But she was, because she was on she was running the state oil corporation. And all the money that was coming in, I think she was taking it and using it for her own personal uses, and most of it was invested.
Of course she was. She made you think. Yes, Mike.
She was using it for those particular purposes.
She became the richest woman in Africa, half white woman anyway. And then talk about you think she was taking the oil money. She ain't got no qualifications to make. She didn't make no bid. I got it from my business interest. Bitch, you a dummy. You don't got any business interest. They got control. They gave control of the goddamn oil wealth of the country, and you've embezzled it all, like all you African sorry motherfuckers do. All of you do it.
That is why I do say we are slow to learn and very quick to forget. People might say, "Oh, anyhow."
This is one of the issue that I had when I went to Ghana for the first time. I had to look for an apartment, and I realized that when you want to rent an apartment in Ghana, you need to research for an agent. What's really making me stressed out is the 10% that you're paying for the agent, even though you find a house for yourself. You need to take the 10% from your package and pay to the agent. That is really crazy because I think that 10% was supposed to come from the amount that I'm paying for the house, but not come from a package. That was stress. And you need to know that you're gonna pay for 1 year. It's really difficult in Ghana for you to get a house that you're gonna pay just for 6 months. It's not impossible, it's possible. It's depends if you're lucky or not.
Is she saying that you have to pay for a house for the whole year in Ghana, and even if you're not there for a whole year? I do not understand what she's talking about. I'd like to know maybe from...
I know it's 6 months. That's Africa, but you couldn't afford no 6 months. You couldn't afford no 6 months in no fucking Angola. 6 months? Oh, you out your fucking mind. Can't afford that shit. That goofy African practice have to end. I think that's the dumbest shit in the world about Africa talking about you had to pay 6 months type shit. How the fuck you in the poorest you got that you got the poorest economy, but you want everybody to pay 6 months. No one does that but Africa. No one does no shit like that. I said, it don't make any sense. Crazy as shit. America is 2 months. You pay for your first month and your last month's rent when you're gonna leave. 2 months in advance. Not no fucking 6 months. It's 2 months and that's it. Most of the world is just 1 month. I went to Africa. I remember years ago, I first went there. It said 6 months. I said 6 months.
Crazy. Most of the places in Kenya is also the same. It's 2 months. The month that you get in, and also the month the last
Kenya.
month.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's normal.
I'm saying most of not every place. Most of the places, not every place. Some, if you're going to book some apartments, they'll tell you.
At least it's just the most. Like at least Kenya's that's the most. At least that's common sense. But the rest of Africa is fucked up, Mike. They tell me I pay 6 months. What the hell are you talking about?
Now she says that some places they tell you a year. That is what she just said. Some places they'll tell you a year, which is it doesn't make any sense. How are you paying it?
I never heard that.
That is what she just said.
Okay, yeah, I heard of it. I heard of it. I never experienced that. I thought it was just 6 months. That's even worse. A year. I can go a year. I can go a year in Africa. People don't got no money for no whole year. I ain't talking about.
People do not even have jobs at the moment, and
it's not impossible. It's possible. It's
people they did have jobs. They had the money for a whole year, just about a year in advance. That ain't make any fucking sense.
Well, let me play more.
It's based on straight
possible.
Like, I gotta give you a year.
No, it's come from.
What's in Angola? She's saying.
Angola, I don't know how many months, but let me just play a little bit so I can hear.
It can't be no 6 months, Mike. Not them prices.
It's really difficult in Ghana for you to get a house that you're gonna pay just for 6 months. It's not impossible, it's possible. It's depend if you're lucky or not. But me, most of the apartment that I was living, I was living for 1 year or even 2 years. Is against the law.
That's why I won't live in fucking Ghana.
They don't care about it. They don't care about it. So guys, I'm gonna start with the rent per.
But they're saying it's against the law anyway.
Month, okay. I'm gonna start with Ghana, and second I'm gonna mention Ghana price first, and Angola second. Okay, 1 bedroom apartment in the city center in Ghana is cost $650. In Angola, $171.64. The 3 bedroom in the city center in Ghana is at the cost of $1,800.58. In Angola, that is huge. Oh my God, it's really expensive.
I think these house rates are also expensive. I don't know what she's talking about. I find them to be a bit expensive.
I don't know where she's living at yet.
Yeah, I'm also wondering.
Talking about the normal areas that are crazy.
Yeah, that is not normal. This is not normal. I think she's one of the sports. She's a sport lady. Let me play these. So it's crazy. She's saying that you have to pay. How many dollars is this? Let me see. It doesn't, the rent per month. It doesn't also add up.
Per month, okay. I'm gonna start with Ghana, and second I'm gonna mention Angola price. Ghana price first, Angola second. Okay. 1 bedroom apartment in the city center in Ghana is cost $650. In Angola, $171.64. The 3 bedroom in the city center in Ghana is at the cost of
I think she got some numbers are confused because there's no way you're paying a 1 bedroom in Ghana for 650. In Nairobi, I think it's a little bit cheaper than that. I don't know what maybe it depends on where she's talking about, but I think also the prices are way too high, according to what I did see. But nonetheless, I want to talk about Egypt. I want to talk about Egypt and the Suez Canal. There has been a ship that has been stuck for a week on the Suez Canal. And this has forced, I believe, some of the people to move their goods all the way down. You know, it's very, very difficult if you're trying to transport some goods. And sometimes you have to go around. You know, before we did have the making of the Suez Canal, let me show us a little bit of the Suez Canal. People used to move all the way around. And the Suez Canal was made so that it could simplify a little bit of the transportation matters on the African continent. Let me share this video with us. Let's see what is going on. There has been a traffic situation, of course, on the waterways, and this is the Suez Canal, and I believe the Suez Canal is about 50 ships do get to pass through the Suez Canal. But over the last week, there was one of the biggest ship. It goes by the name Evergreen, which got stuck on the Suez Canal and it blocked the way. I think it was a line vertically, and when it did, all these are different ships with all these goods. Some of the goods are really.
It's still blocking the way, right? It's still blocking the way.
They managed it a few hours. I think a few hours ago, a few hours ago, they managed to remove it to pave the way for the rest of the ship.
Okay.
Because I understand the cost was very, very expensive for anyone to move around the continent without using the Suez Canal. They're saying it was actually carrying some goods. I believe going to Rotterdam. That is what they are saying. It was actually going to Rotterdam. And there has been so many efforts to try and get this particular And from what you can see, the ship is really, really huge. And Egypt happens to make really
massive container ship has been.
Egypt really makes lots and lots of monies from this particular route. I do believe allowing about 50 ships daily to be able to cross over. And you can imagine if it means 50 ships daily, and you have a period of about 7 days when you do not have ships crossing, it means you will have about 350 ships. If at all, they will continue coming in, and the traffic situation will be crazy. People talk about road transport, but I think even a ship transport is also is crazy because you cannot just get off, and it's a bit difficult.
Been dislodged from the banks of the Suez Canal after a massive effort to free it. The owner of the Ever Given says the 400-meter-long vessel has been straightened out, but it is not yet fully afloat. It became wedged in the canal a week ago amid high winds. Excavators have been digging out the side of the canal while as many as 11 tugboats have been pulling it back into position. The incident has blocked traffic in the waterway, leaving hundreds of cargo ships waiting in line. Well, for the very latest, we've got Chris Kober here with us from DW Business. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, why has it taken nearly a week to get this vessel halfway dislodged?
Well, we're looking at three factors here. First, the ship is extremely heavy. Second one is apparently the force with which the Ever Given has run aground was quite strong. And the third one, it is a narrow canal, so you don't have really much room to maneuver. That said, overnight, we know that several dredgers had told up vacuumed up 27,000 cubic meters of mud and sand. As you said, it took more than 10 tugboats to at least partially straighten out the Ever Given. And it took the moon, because the moon actually, over the weekend, the full moon, brought the spring tide, which also helped along there. However, the challenges remain. You said the bow is still not freed, as they haven't dislodged it yet of the ship. And the high tide that has been helpful is receding this week. So the clock is ticking there.
We don't really know. The Suez Canal is part of one of the busiest trade routes in the whole world. What's the extent of the damage, Chris, to world trade?
Well, as experts have been saying, the damage is worth about $10 billion per day that world trade.
$10 billion a day.
Yeah.
$10 billion per day. If we had to trust on the figure, that's really a big amount of money. $10 billion a day. I believe, of course, putting in consideration these particular cargo ships have been stuck there for a whole week.
Hey,
10 billion.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what, Spike?
Yeah.
You know what, Spike? You know what? That 10 billion in one day is more than most. There's more than most French ex-African colonies' goddamn GDP.
Per year. Gross domestic products annually.
It's
more than this.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
exactly.
And I believe most of these particular products are coming through the canal are likely products maybe being taken from the continent of Africa or are maybe being brought into Africa after they have been processed. I think this is most of the images, most of the goods coming through this. So it means in 2 days.
It was going to Rotterdam, so it means it came out of Africa, Mike.
Yeah.
It means it came out of Africa.
And then people say
it was headed to Denmark. Go ahead, Mike.
No, people will say there is no trade happening in Africa, or there is no potential for trade in Africa, and hear about the numbers.
And here's another figure for you. Because of the Ever Given block the canal, according to the Canal Authority, around 370 ships on both sides, on each side of the canal, were waiting for passage. It is impossible to say what the individual cargo on each ship is. So that could be anything from video games to toilet paper. So it shows you how frail some of the trade links are in this situation. And obviously, this accident has been a nightmare to Egypt as well. The State Canal Authority losing about $13 million each day in fees of ships not being able to pass.
So that office chair I ordered from my home office that's probably built in China, it might take a while longer still to get there.
Could be, yeah.
World commerce in peril because of a ship blocking a canal. Could this happen again?
It sounds like an almost refreshingly simple problem, doesn't it? A ship just blocking.
And I do believe, no, it was actually coming from China, Keith. I think it was coming from China. It was not coming from Africa. I think the goods also coming from China do pass through the Suez Canal. Yeah, they do pass the goods also coming from China. And they are saying that Egypt makes a lot of money from the fees. You know, all these ships, they're saying there were 370 on each side. On the
they got to pay.
Yeah,
they got to pay to go to the Suez Canal. Of course, that's not free. They got to pay. They got to pay to go to the canal. While they built it, it was an easy way instead of having to go all the way around Africa. Yeah, they got to pay. They got to pay Egypt every time they use it. Every time they go to the canal. So that's one of their main money making sources.
Yeah, they're making
canal is one of Egypt's main. That and tourism. What does Egypt make? Not a goddamn thing. What these no good dirty Arabs make up in ancient Kemet? Nothing. But still, they sold all most of the damn artifacts. Stole all the artifacts, gave it to white people. You know, what are they making in Egypt? I think Egypt has the second biggest GDP in Africa, and because of that Suez Canal.
But I think was it built by the Germans or the French? Because I see in 1858, funny that the Lesseps, the former French.
It was built by the English.
British.
The French had it first under Napoleon.
Okay. I don't know. I think we lost our key or the audio or something. But nonetheless, it was actually built and taken over for 99 years. Then after which it was then given back to the people of Egypt from what I can find a little bit on the information. Because 99 years is not a small time, but nonetheless, if you do not have the capacity to build it yourself, then it means that you might have to compromise, and I think that is what did happen. In 1858, the Universal Suez Canal Ship Company was tasked to construct and operate the canal for 99 years, after which the rights would be handed over to the Egyptian government to have control of this particular Suez Canal. And of course, yes, this was the British. The British government was strongly opposed to its construction. Planning for the Suez Canal finally began in 1854 when a former French diplomat named Ferdinand de Lesseps negotiated an agreement with the Egyptian viceroy to form the Suez Canal companies. And there are some really interesting facts about the Suez Canal. I will be sharing them with us, even as we discuss this particular recent incident. But I was saying 99 years is not, 99 is a long time. People, I think the British were getting the money, or they were getting to recoup their investment back with these particular canals. We have heard about other different African countries almost getting to go into the same direction. They're told we can have an improvement of your port, and you will give us a port to run for 99 years on a lease, or to run this particular port for so many other different years. And other different countries, some of them might be falling into these. Tanzania did not. Tanzania, of course, was very, very worried on the deal with the Chinese, where the Chinese say we will be constructing it, running it for 99 years, or running it for these a number of years. And really, at the end of the day, you are left with nothing. But with us some interesting facts. I will be sharing with us some interesting facts about the Suez Canal. And number one fact is that the Suez Canal, its origins date back to the ancient Egypt. The modern Suez Canal is only the most recent of several man-made waterways that once snaked their ways across Egypt. The Egyptian pharaoh Senusret III may have built an early canal connecting the Red Sea and the River Nile around 1850 BC. And according to Asian sources, the pharaoh Necho II and the Persian conqueror Darius both began and then abandoned work on a similar project. The canal was supposedly finished in the 3rd century BC during the Ptolemaic dynasty, and many historical figures, including Cleopatra, have traveled on it. There are other different facts about this canal. Napoleon Bonaparte considered building it after conquering Egypt in 1798. The French military commander Napoleon Bonaparte sent a team of surveyors to investigate the feasibility of cutting the Isthmus of Suez and building a canal from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean. But following 4 separate excursions to the region, his scouts incorrectly concluded that the Red Sea was at least 30 feet higher than the Mediterranean. Any attempt to create a canal they want could result in a catastrophic flooding across the Nile Delta. And that is why the Napoleon did not build it. And there is also another fact. The British government was strongly opposed to its construction. Planning for the Suez Canal officially began in 1854 when a French former diplomat named Ferdinand de Lesseps negotiated an agreement with the Egyptian viceroy to form the Suez Canal Company. And since Lesseps proposed the canal, he had the support of the French Emperor Napoleon III. Many British statesmen considered it a construction of a political scheme designed to undermine the dominance of global shipping. And there was a bit of an opposition by the British. It was built using a combination of a forced peasant labor and the state-of-the-art machinery. And therefore, building of the Suez Canal required massive labor. And the Egyptian government initially supplied most by forcing the poor to work for nominal pay and under the threat of violence. You know, the canal was constructed under the threat of violence beginning in the late 1861. Tens of thousands of peasants used to use picks and shovels to dig the early portions of the canal by hand, which is really a lot of work. If you're digging portions of the canal by hand, that is really, really a lot of work. And the Statue of Liberty was originally intended for the canal. As the Suez Canal neared completion in 1869, the French sculptor Frederic Auguste Bartholdi tried to convince Ferdinand de Lesseps and the Egyptian government to let him build a sculpture called Egypt, Bringing Light to Asia, and its Mediterranean entrance. Inspired by the ancient Colossus of Rhodes, envisioned a 90-foot tall statue of a woman clothed in Egyptian peasant robes, holding a massive torch, which would also serve as a lighthouse to guide the ships into the canal. The project was never materialized, but Bartholdi continued shipping the idea for his statue. In 1886, he finally unveiled a completed version of the New York in New York Harbor. Yes, and the Statue of Liberty was first intended for the Suez Canal, but people could not buy the idea, and therefore they took the idea to New York, where it was actually made. And it's quite a later tribe. Canal.
It's not even Asia. Ain't that funny? It's called Asia. That's not Asia. Asia. What are you talking about?
Sorry.
It's not Asia.
Are you talking about the Statue of Liberty? Yeah.
Yeah, what you said, they're going to take it to Asia. That's not Asia. That's Africa. There's no damn Asia.
It's just the light of Asia. Bring it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a scam they've been doing forever. Trying to take Kemet out of Africa. It ain't no Asia. What the hell are you talking about? No, nowhere near Asia. That's a scam they've been doing forever. Light of Asia. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and they're saying this is not the very first time a ship. This is not the very first time a ship has blocked the canal. A fleet of ships was once stranded in the.
I'm sure it's not.
For more than 8 years. They're saying during the 6-day war between Egypt and Israel, the Suez Canal was shut down by the Egyptian government and blocked on either side by mines and scuttled ships. At the time of the closure, 15 international shipping vessels were moored and stuck there for 8 years during the war, the 1967 war between Egypt and Israel. There was a there was 6 days.
But it didn't block the whole canal, did it? Not for 8 years. I know it didn't block it for 8 years, did it?
Yeah, no, they did not block it for 8 years, but there were some ships that were stranded there for more than 8 years. The ships were stranded there, but it wasn't blocked for 8 years. Yeah, it wasn't blocked for 8 years. And
they wouldn't allow that. They wouldn't allow that.
In 2015, they also did a little bit of that particular project, and right now there have been some upgrades. But I think this 40 feet ship is also so big. You know, I don't think the canal is that deep for you to have such kinds of vessels. I think this particular ship that was stuck was also super big. You know, 40. I think it's 40 feet. That's too big. And I don't think the canal is that particular deep. But nonetheless, we are winding up. I did share with us a little bit of some the Suez Canal. Of course, later on, we shall be discussing about other different interesting places in Africa. Today, we also did mention about Senegal, Ghana. We have also talked about Luanda in Angola, and we have seen that there are some advantages of maybe perhaps considering Luanda. We also did see that perhaps places also do have different, tenants.
Right. Yeah. Answer your question. Why would they call that the light? Why would they say we're going to bring this statue called the Light of Asia?
Yeah.
Huh? But it's clearly Africa. Why would they do that, Spike?
They want to put on the canal. Maybe they want to put it on the canal. Maybe they wanted to have it face the Middle East, or maybe face Turkey, and maybe perhaps that is why they wanted it to be the light of Asia. I'm just trying to think.
Hold on, Spike. They didn't call it. No. They let you know it wasn't called the Middle East yet. They didn't come up with that scam yet.
Yeah.
Wasn't called the Middle East yet. So it was no Middle East yet. They wanted to call it Asia. People say, hey, man, that ain't no damn Asia. Because they wanted to call it Asia. That's because they don't want to call it what it is. It's Africa. Not no fucking Asia. But so, because it was no such term yet as the Middle East yet, Spike. You understand? That's a new term. So that's back in the 1800s.
I think that was to help them still. It was to help them divert or overturn history, or not really overturn history, but corrupt history.
It was
corrupt. Well, that was
exactly right. Corrupt history. Yeah. Exactly right. Because there was no Middle East, and when they were talking about that was 1800s. They didn't come up with the term the Middle East until 100 years ago. You're talking about there almost 200 years ago. That was them wanting to take Egypt out of Africa because they didn't like the fact that everything they found on those walls for African people. And since
Mm.
Africans have been starting to be colonized, we're going about to be colonized. That's before colonization. That was 1850, 1860. They didn't start colonizing Africa until 1884. After that, right? So they said, well, we can't say this great civilization came from these Negroes. We've already enslaved them. We're about to go and take over Africa. Hell no, these people never created nothing great. And we're going to get them not to believe in themselves. We're going to give them this religion and tell them that Egypt was bad. We're going to destroy their fucking minds. Do me a favor, Spike, before we go. So play Dr. Mumbie's last, because it's saying what we said. Go to Dr. Mumbie live and play Dr. Mumbie's her last video for me. And she said, what we said. She said, when I first came to Dr. Mumbie show, I was an evangelistic Christian. I was crazy with that shit.
Let me see. You choose your parents. Is it the one you choose your parents? No matter how you choose your parents.
Yeah. That's the last one. They believe you don't choose your parents, but close to it. But she's on the right track. Yeah, but I'm glad what she said. When I first came, family, I was an evangelical. You know, you wasn't that case. That's what we talked about. We know you wasn't an evangelical nutty Christian.
It was the people she was hanging out with, and you know who she was hanging out with, and
of course, yeah. The Bill for the live show and all these.
To all the dispossessed youth of Africa.
She's also rapping. I think she's about a mixtape as well. I think she's rapping on the intro. She's about to drop a mixtape. She's rapping on the intro.
For perpetuation of communion, ancestral spirits, fight for African freedom. In the firm faith of the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite. Getting so far, we've decided to dive much deeper spiritually here, because when I started the Dr. Mumbie show, I was like an evangelical, prophetic, Bible thumping Christian, but I've had to go deeper just because of circumstances. Just because of the kind of things I encountered and literally beloveds to save my life, because it reached a point where fasting and praying wasn't.
No, some of the real African shamans, like I told you, Underground reached out to you, said, lady, we want to help you. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. The real African shamans are still in Kenya, still around Africa, that are underground reached out to you. They're still there. They're still there. That's good, Spike. You ain't got to play the whole thing. I just want to show that part. And Dr. Mumbie, if Dr. Mumbie can wake up, everybody can wake up in Africa. Go ahead.
Lightbearer, thank you so much for the love and support, and also for the work that you are doing. Lightbearer also does put out content on our platform, and it's actually a good thing to see. But all the information really also comes to one conclusion, and also helps in awakening our people. Are you saying David Deep? David Deep might also wake up one day, but he will not leave that for the views and for the numbers you're giving him on YouTube. Anyhow, we are winding up on this particular broadcast. We have been talking briefly about some of things happening in Africa. I wasn't able to touch on Mozambique, but we'll talk about Mozambique maybe on the subsequent episode. I have one working now.
Hey, Spike, Hey, Spike, how'd your mother feel about you going back to Tanzania?
I haven't. We were talking with her. She's opposed to the president locking down the country. I talked to her that particular day when the announcement was made, but I haven't talked to her about what will happen next. But she didn't have a problem with it. The first time we were in Tanzania, it was fine. She actually has an understanding that in other different African countries, people are just the same. She doesn't say, this and that. And I told her that in Tanzania, she's allowed, the president had allowed their people to continue going on. At least for that particular part, she agrees with me. And she knows we are all the same in Africa. Even in Rwanda, when we were going to Rwanda, I told her the experience is just the same. But I will be confirming about the tour, the bus schedules. Really, I haven't asked if the schedules have changed or if anything has changed, the bus schedules. But I'll actually just ask and get back to you later in the day, so that we have everything.
Yeah.
We have everything. That I need to get the schedules. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get all the schedules, get everybody on the WhatsApp app. We can do that Saturday. Everybody on the WhatsApp app and get everybody's number. We have a WhatsApp number. Let your mother know when you go to Tanzania, you won't have to wear no mask. No mask. Hopefully,
as a kid, she knows in Tanzania it's like she knows in Tanzania there's no mask mandate in Tanzania. She knows. Yeah.
Oh, she does know. Okay, good for her. Okay, she does know. So, Spike, is he sending you down there to get the COVID, Spike, baby? Oh no. Oh, be careful.
Like you say, I have one working for us right now. Thank you so much, Sister Rivera. I thank you also keep for giving us this platform. We love it, appreciate the kind of work.
I got to make sure Spike say mention his mother. I'll make sure she's okay. He's sending my baby down there where they gonna be getting disease. No, Mama Spike, no.
You set it up. You set it up to go on a cliff and throw them down.
Yeah.
Throw them down the cliff.
Yeah. So I'll make sure with the propaganda in Kenya, make sure. Oh, you can't go down there, Spike. You can't do it. Not making sure.
It's crazy, but my mom knows. I'll be talking to her also later in the evening. But thank you so much, Sister Lightbearer. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We hope to be wishing you a happy and a productive day ahead. And make sure to join us also on the subsequent episode of the Africa Today Show. Till next time, Max, peace and love. I will say, go ahead.